Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Welcome, both of you, to the committee. I want to just follow up briefly on line of questioning from Senator Lankford. Mr. Kenneth, you referred to the Leveling the Playing Field Act of 2.0, which Senator Young is leading. I'm the Democratic lead, and I'm sorry Senator Lankford has left the room because we would welcome him to join our bill. And we'll submit a question for the record about that bill and your interest in working with us on that bill. Mr. Kies, I wanted to ask you. I want to ask you about childcare. So the cost of childcare is crushing working families in this country. In Minnesota, the average cost of care for one infant is nearly $2,000 a month, as much as a mortgage payment, $2,000 a month. And this is a problem, of course, all over the country. According to the Economic Policy Institute, in 17 states and the District of Columbia, the cost of infant care exceeds rent. So my question for you is this, related to the Trump tax law of 2017. Is there anything in extending that law that you see that would do anything to help families offset the cost of childcare or other expenses? I don't see that there's anything new there.
So not necessarily anything new, but allowing provisions to expire that currently benefit middle-income families would make it even more difficult for them to pay child care expenses. And one of the things we discussed earlier was the importance of the standard deduction, which if we don't extend it, it will reduce the benefits of the standard deduction from $34,000 for a family of four to $23,000.
So I'm in favor of tax cuts for middle-class people, but the reality is that this bill would, most of the benefits would go to the wealthiest folks and big corporations. And so my question is, do you think that there could be room in this Republican bill to help help cover some of the costs of childcare? I mean, obviously, if there were things in the bill that were helping to lower childcare costs would be lower. I mean, there's the environment as it exists under the tax law of the Trump administration is where those child care costs are so expensive.
So, Senator, just to be clear, the standard deduction, which benefits 90% of it, goes to middle-income families, and so it's quite important. And
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm sorry, I'm not saying it isn't important. What I'm saying is that is there anything? Does the administration, to your knowledge, have any plan to do anything to lower child care costs for American families?
So, Senator Smith, I have not been part of the Treasury Department. I am not a consultant to the Treasury Department. I've had no role in tax policy discussions with anybody at the Treasury Department or the White House, and won't unless I'm confirmed. So I'm really not privy to any information that could answer that.
Well, I'm not aware of anything that the administration is planning to lower costs for families. This is a significant drag on the economy. Estimates are that it's $122 billion per year in lost earnings and productivity and revenue. And this, I think, is a big gap in the work that we have to do. I want to skip to another topic here, if I can, having to do with the cost of housing. We have a big problem in Minnesota with the proliferation, of private equity in housing. Here's what's happened in North Minneapolis, for example. One private equity firm swooped in and took up hundreds of single-family homes, bottom up off the market, turning them into permanent rentals. And that meant that families with roots in the community, dating back generations, now find it almost impossible to buy a home. And these big investors are absentee landlords in every sense. And of course, they're rewarded, to add insult to injury, they're rewarded with generous tax breaks for this. So I have a bill with Senator Warnock. It would be the Stop Predatory Investing Act, and this would prevent these big investors in single-family rental homes from deducting interest or depreciation. There's no reason, seems to me, to give these big investors taxpayer subsidies for doing something that is clearly hurting the challenges that we have with the severe housing shortage. Why, Mr. Kies, should the federal government be boosting private equity profits in this way by giving them this tax break?
So, Senator, assuming I'm confirmed, I'd be happy to examine your legislation and provide you any input that might be useful to you. It's obviously a decision that this committee and the Ways and Means Committee and that Congress as a whole will have to make judgments about. So I'd be happy to look at it if I'm confirmed into my position.
Well, I think that this tax break to private equity is an opportunity to do something about wasteful spending, and maybe even an opportunity to do something positive to lower housing costs for Americans. When private equity firms are able to exploit this market gap and artificially inflate prices and squeeze renters, it is bad for everybody. And I believe that this is an opportunity for us to actually do something to lower costs for housing for Americans. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Smith. Before I go to Senator Cantwell, who's next, I just want to state once again that the TCJA, the tax cut we're talking about,